one part of the technique I'm finding particularly challenging right now is staying connected to my partner while being distracted by my activity. What's your advice for managing distractions while always remaining focused on my partner's life? Well, that's easy. It's called practice. Practice, 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 practice. It's why we meet twice a week. It's why we want you meeting a minimum of 3 times a week outside of class. For a while, we say this all the time. And for those that aren't, that are joining us, that aren't currently studying the Meisner Technique or have even ever had any introduction to it, boy, I don't have time to crack that open. But suffice to say that one of the core foundations that Sandy came up with, the principle behind the Meisner Technique, the evolution, was his clear belief that people are horrible listeners in life, and then put them in a heightened situation, being in front of other people, and bad listening goes to horrific. And so before he could even begin to teach principles and the craft of acting, he needed people to be able to be world-class listeners, to be able to show up. And so he created a way, a process to make that happen. And this first question deals with that initial stage of the training. But back to the question, I'm finding myself distracted. It's hard to be focused on something else and wide open to my partner. And again, I get it. That's why we go through this technique and through this process. So the answer is practice. Initially, we try to do the technique. Keep firing away your questions, by the way, everybody, although maybe you're listening, so you're following that, but keep the questions coming too. Initially, you're trying to do the technique, but eventually, with enough practice and seasoning, literally, it starts doing you. I use that phrase all the time. You don't even have to think about it anymore. Where you are today, can you see my hands? I guess I'm going to raise them up. Right now, what is good work for you is here. In 2 weeks, it'll be like this, and it just keeps growing. You will, listen to our alumni, and those alumni testimonials talk about this. They talk about the evolution, to be patient, to be humble, to work hard, to trust that it is going to lead somewhere. And to understand that the best way to really advance this, because it really is a technique, is to practice, 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 and with as many different people as you can. So that's my answer: patience and practice.